Picture this. You're sweating like a popsicle left in the sun while on the hunt for ripe coconuts. Yes, coconuts, those delightful tropical treasures that are crucial for hydration and survival. Who needs a fancy water bottle when you've got nature's own? Coconuts are practically nature's Gatorade, keeping you refreshed and semi-hydrated in the sweltering heat. Now, imagine our brave adventurer pulling out their survival inventory, which probably consists of a camera, some granola bars, and the optimism of a toddler at a candy store. This highlights how limited our hero's resources are. Whoever said you need a bunker full of gear to survive clearly never tried to make do with a sweet Instagram filter and a handful of nuts. Climbing coconut trees can be quite the workout, folks. It's like doing squats with zero gym membership, daring, strenuous, and a little risky. Not to mention, if you slip and land belly first onto the sandy ground, that's not just embarrassing, that's a potential TikTok darling waiting to happen. The struggle is real when it comes to gathering sustenance on this island paradise. Let's talk about sleep, or the lack thereof. Building a cozy little nest to snooze in is essential if you plan to survive without resembling a zombie from a low-budget horror flick. Trust me, a good night's rest can turn you from a cranky caveman into a productivity powerhouse, at least until the next coconut craving kicks in. Speaking of coconuts, they're not just for decoration or the occasional tropical-themed piña colada. Our adventurer quickly learns that a stockpile of coconuts is key to staying hydrated. Forget water coolers, coconuts are the VIP section of hydration. Our hydration guru is now counting coconuts like a kid counting their Halloween candy. Now, our resourceful individual gets reflective. And no, we're not talking about staring moodily into the ocean. They've run the numbers on their productivity based on the weather. Working during the cooler hours is like finding cheat codes in a video game. Less sweat, more resources. Who knew survival could be all about timing? Forget being fashionably late. Here it's all about being fashionably cool. Water is like the holy grail of survival, and dear friends, anxiety is the garnish on that dish. Our adventurous narrator certainly feels the pressure of limited water supplies. If there's one thing that can turn an island into a desert, it's running low on water. Their anxiety is real, and let's be honest, it's probably more intense than a soap opera cliffhanger. Coconuts really are the superheroes of hydration. But surprise! Not every coconut is a water fountain waiting to happen. Our narrator casually shares their experience of guzzling several coconuts like they've just returned from a marathon. Spoiler alert, while each sip is refreshing, they're also dangling on the edges of dehydration drama. Nature's crafty, folks. Take hibiscus, for instance. Not only can it make your tea fancy, but it can also be transformed into cordage. Because who needs a hardware store when you have Mother Nature? Our survivalist gives us a quick lesson on how to tap into resources like a seasoned island resident. Forget MacGyver, they need to call you. The heat, the exhaustion, and the challenging dance of survival. Our protagonist reveals their weariness, attributing it to the blazing sun and not enough shut-eye. They decide to take a breather, because who can channel their inner Bear Grylls when they're about to keels over from fatigue? Hydration and naps, my friends, two essentials for island survival. Innovation strikes. Our island warrior stumbles upon plastic bottles, which they transform into a saltwater still. Yes, folks, the modern-day MacGyver is in action, attempting to purify water like a mad scientist on a tropical adventure. This isn't just resourcefulness, it's the art of turning trash into treasure, or at least into potable water. Our survivor gets a little adventurous with their water sourcing, even experimenting with some not-so-ideal options like a trash pile. Tasting water from questionable spots is definitely a tough sell. Flavor profile, mildly concerning with a hint of regret. It's a clear reminder of the lengths one might go to ensure hydration. Who knew survival could taste like an episode of Fear Factor? Drinking coconut water? Oh, that's just the icing on the cake. Our narrator waxes poetic about the sweet nectar of coconuts, reflecting on its vital role in their hydration saga. It's like sipping on the ambrosia of the tropical gods, assuming the gods were really into refreshing beverages. Bottom line? They never underestimate the power of a coconut. Now, let's not forget about mental health, my friends. Meditation becomes a trusty sidekick in sorting through negative thoughts. Our narrator can't help but share how the Headspace app has transformed their meditation sessions into serene oases amidst the chaos of island life. Who knew mindfulness could be as essential as sunscreen? The adventure continues as our daring hero forages for limpets and snails, those culinary delights straight from the ocean floor. Watching them prepare and taste these shellfish is like an episode of Gordon Ramsay meets Survivor. Unexpected delicacies, excitement, and maybe a little doubt, as they ponder if these snails really were good enough for a Michelin star. Preparation is key in the wilderness because it's full of surprises, like insects that could throw a rager on your back. Understanding the potential hazards is crucial if you want to avoid turning your camping trip into an episode of A Bug's Life. With nature, it's always wise to be aware of what's buzzing around you. Nothing says sustenance like fishing in the open ocean. Our survivalist dives into the wild world of fishing, an adventure filled with twists, turns, and just maybe a splash of water in the face. The process of catching fish not only brings home dinner but also adds a dash of excitement to the survival menu. Let's face it, who doesn't feel like a rugged explorer when you reel in your catch of the day? Cooking with natural resources? That's where the magic happens. Our island dweller embraces creativity by wrapping their meal in local plants. It's like farm to table, but instead, it's beach to belly. Nothing screams survival chic like a feast made from ingredients that are literally growing under your feet. Fresh fish and coconuts become the staples of camping life. Unfortunately, maintaining this gourmet food supply turns into a captivating yet exasperating game of hide and seek with nature. Talk about resourcefulness. In a world of takeout menus, this adventurer learns that sometimes dinner comes with a side of sweat and a dash of determination. Speaking of sleep, upgrading your sleeping situation can make a world of difference. Our hero prioritizes comfort, seeking a cozy abode that'll fend off nature's surprises while ensuring they wake up energized, not like an extra in The Walking Dead. Because good luck surviving when all you've got is a bad bed and a groggy attitude. Every coconut has its own vibe, and experiencing their unique characteristics becomes part of the adventure. Each sip offers a different taste sensation, like a tropical buffet, but without the table. It's all about savoring the diversity of flavors while simultaneously wondering if you've turned into a coconut connoisseur. Our survivalist takes us on a journey of adapting to island life, all thanks to a survival course. This crash course in essential techniques has equipped them to thrive in the wild. Who knew the secret to becoming a nature-loving islander lay in a few simple lessons on how to avoid drinking from the wrong coconut? Of course, with all adventures come the occasional hiccup. Health issues rear their ugly heads, particularly gastrointestinal troubles. It's a stark reminder that while you can cook over an open fire, you can also ignite trouble in your tummy. Our survivor learns firsthand that monitoring one's condition is as critical as evaluating the quality of your coconut water. As our survivalist hones their fishing techniques, they learn to bait fish like a seasoned pro. Mastering the art of fishing is not just about casting lines, it's about cultivating practical skills that could easily become survival knowledge. It's like a masterclass on how to be resourceful yet graceful. Watch out, industry experts. With the sun blazing and fatigue lurking around the corner, conditions on the island take a toll on our narrator. The heat and exhaustion weigh heavily on their ability to gather food, forcing them to limit their dinner options for the evening. This adventure certainly proves that sometimes, less is more, especially when it comes to avoiding heat-induced meltdowns. To add a twist to our tale, we meet the infamous death apple tree. It looks like dessert, but could have you joining the ranks of the dearly departed if you're not careful. It's a reminder that not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes, it's just a fruit with a dark sense of humor that could make a history book. Our narrator gets real with practical tips for staying fresh on the island. From using hibiscus leaves for those tough cleaning sessions to taking a dip in the ocean for a rinse, they don't hold back on the unconventional methods. Who knew personal hygiene could be a madcap survival experiment? Nature is a wild beauty, but it doesn't come with a built-in shower. Struggling to find food and water through the coconut jungle showcases the wild's challenges. Our adventurer learns that survival is more than just the abundance of food. It's about accessing those resources without an overwhelming amount of sweat and tears. It's not just a survival lesson, it's a full-blown masterclass in resourcefulness. Despite everything, our brave individual can't help but feel gratitude for the stunning natural beauty that surrounds them. This journey turns into one of personal growth as they connect with nature, because when life gives you coconuts, you make coconut water, and when it gives you lemons, well, you know the drill. So there you have it, folks. From coconuts to creativity, our survivalist's adventure is a delightful blend of challenges, laughter, and the occasional existential crisis. Remember, thriving in the wild is an art, and our narrator is the Picasso of coconut hunting, resourcefulness, and, let's not forget, a healthy dose of humor.